Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. I am joined by my co-caster, just yonder, TFH with the swear word. How are you today, Todd?
I am doing great today, NightFiree. I am really excited for this matchup. We got SMC Tactical versus Globochem. The hype explains itself, I believe.
Yeah, it is a match as old as time in the VR Master League. Onward has been running for 10 seasons now. We are in week 3 of season 10 as of today, the last day of week 3. And SMC Tactical and Globochem are teams that have been around since the beginning. They have been around for countless seasons. They have constantly faced off against each other. They have a very, very long history of facing off against each other over the course of the VRML. And usually it's pretty exciting matches. You know, these are two teams that are at the top tier in the VRML worldwide, and to see them battle it out is always pretty exciting. So I'm very intrigued to see what kind of tactics SMC is going to bring to the plate for Globochem, because you got to bring your best, right, when you're going up against Globo?
Oh yeah, Globo are the team to beat, obviously. They are the reigning world champions of Onward, so why not, you know, try to stick it to them, especially in the early season. They may be on the bit of the loosey-goosey, trying out different stuff side, but right as we say that, we're running right into the rounds here.
Yeah, we'll get to the pick bans at the start of next round. Map 1 is going to be Subway. We are going to kick it off with a little bit of some interesting close quarters action. First objective is going to be up at the old market.
Upstairs. Alleyway market. It's a lot. There's some names that we really can't say on cast as well, mainly due to some very illicit street signs. A couple shots starting off with Toast. Pre-firing a couple corners. I don't think SMC Tactical are really within range just yet to really do any damage, but Toast just wants to be sure before he does anything else. Something of note, Toast is a new old member. Ooh, and he already finds Captain Soda. He's a new old member of Globochem. Former veteran, retired for a season, and now is back. And back at it again.
Nice little pickup there. Pretty aggressive positioning. Mike Crook gonna swing this corner after C4 detonated. Trip calling out to Landon to drop back. The shield here seemingly going to be challenging Mike up on this corner. I think Mike realizes the threat of explosives, and you see him dropping back. Although, is he coming up here maybe to hand off some utility? That's an optimal nade. Mike does have more nades in his hand now. C4 doesn't clear the ceiling.
Very loud callouts from Trip
so
to
standard.
guide Landon. And of course the technical complaint as well. Always. Oh, and a good flash. Might have been able to find Trip there, but he's still holding his angles. Able to use the shield to be able to call out the locations of Izzy and Mike Crook. And it looks like that flash will go out. I don't know if that really got them or not. That angle's a little weird, but Izzy launches herself out there trying to find one, but Mike Crook. Oh no, the team kill!
Okay, just shield up.
The revive does come out.
And Izzy thinks that Landon's dead. Landon still has the rifle. He's still a threat. He picks up 2. A nice double there. Eliminates the north defense. Meanwhile, we do have pressure coming in from SMC Tactical on the opposite side. Sir Lucian Shenanigans prepping their entry point from 1 of 3.
Yeah, just that double from Trip and Landon Jordan was incredibly quick. The moment that I don't know why on earth Mike Crook and Izzy thought it'd be a good idea to both poke out at the same time, but regardless, that is what they did, and Trip and Landon just shut that down immediately. And now Globochem are a little bit on the back end here. Ooh, Toast is able to find Trip with the shield kill. And Landon Jordan's trying to find that refrag through a crack in the dumpster. He's going to be able to find Toast. Otto knows exactly where that shot came from. Can he line it up, though? He has to be very patient. Thunderpile is able to find Shenanigans. Otto does find Landon Jordan there. We're now into a 1v2. Globochem on the advantage here by 1 man only. Lucian finds Thunderpile. We're now into a 1v1. And Lucian with the double finds Otto. and SMC Tactical will take that round.
I mean, Todd, we're off to the races, okay? That was a fantastic bit of combat at the end there. SMC coming in with some excellent moves. Great teamwork coordination. The backside coming in just when they were needed. Just before, you know, the threat was lost and Globochem could readjust and sort of regather themselves. Excellent denial there out of SMC. Great job securing that Marsoc W. And I mean, what a way to start your series against Globochem, right?
I mean, it's always good to have that first point. It builds the momentum up. It builds the morale up. It really, against a team like Globochem, morale is such an incredible factor because not only are you going up against an incredibly skilled team, they can also play with your minds as well because, you know, you start losing them and you kind of get into the old unhealthy habit of thinking like, oh, they're just the greatest team in the world. No, they're not always the greatest team in the world. They've lost championships before. They are a defeatable team. And that's the way you have to think about it if you want to be able to try to pull up a win in a match.
I didn't want to cut you off because it is your 100th cast, and I'm going to let you run free, but we do have to get into the pick bans. As you can see, SMC have banned Downfall, Globochem have banned Suburbia. Our first map, obviously, is Subway, and the scoreline already, SMC managed to pack a point on the board. Go up 1-0. Landon there, performing strong, 3-1. I'm sure he's trying to make me eat my words when I said last time that SMC was playing that he's maybe a 50-50 player. I know that some folks were oohing and on about that one, so we'll see if he does better than that today. He's got 3 chances, really.
I'm gonna nickname you all in with some of the statements you put out there. Everyone's out there to seem to try to prove you wrong, NightFiree.
Hey, if I can make people better players, then you know I'll that's what I'll have to do here. So we'll see how Landon does. See how the entirety of SMC do on the defense as we hop into round number 2. Trip, did you or toss?
Oh wow, that's a decoration at that point. Someone should just preserve that. That is just hanging off the line. That is, I don't even. How much practice requires?
Then he threw it at that wire. He threw it up in the sky, anticipating it. Like that was definitely where he wanted it.
That takes a lot of practice. You gotta wonder how many hours Trip poured into just hanging out there, tossing C4 at that wire, just to be able to get that, arm in, you know, that muscle memory.
Shield coming up tunnel. Shield coming up the base.
Landon pushing out a little bit far here on the defense. He's almost at risk here. If he decides to drop back to his objective side, he's going to be in trouble. But he is able to prevent Izzy and Mike from initially entering up these stairs. And the nade in hand, Mike and Izzy heard the nade pin pull, and they instantly dropped back, but Landon hasn't tossed it yet.
Yeah, he's waiting for, you know, the perfect opportunity to come. He's waiting for Izzy and Mike to be in a very vulnerable spot. But Izzy and Mike are really doing the smartest play in their book and realizing that maybe Landon's got the upper hand here, that this is not the perfect approach. Otto taking a bunch of shots down there, trying to spray that bed, make sure that he could be able to get any picks that he possibly can before. That nade might find that C4. Oh, no, it's too far. I was hoping that the timing would be perfect, but regardless, those are perfectly near Captain Soda, but neither of them are able to find the captain as he is just perfectly tucked away.
They really want Soda back there in that corner. They're investing a good chunk of utility, but honestly, this is exactly what Soda wants. He really wants tunnel vision on him because he doesn't want Thunder or Otto to take a look up into the sky and see this C4.
It's interesting to see the double shield strat coming out of Globochem. We haven't really seen this in a little while, but then again, it is early season, so we're kind of seeing a bit more of an experimental Globochem before they really hone in and see what works, what doesn't. Previously, I've seen Thunder on the shield, and he's a good shield player, but is he anywhere near Mike Crook, who just got down by a C4? No.
Oh, a nade!
Oh, the grenade! The friendly nade. He was holding a nade to private, but then when the C4 got him, it took down Izzy.
Wow.
Wow.
Otto able to get the shots on the backside. Meanwhile, Thunder and Toast trying to push up the West side, a frag coming in from Landon, opposite side of where you would really expect him, and that does alert Thunder and Toast to that position. It also exposes the back of Thunder to Sir Lucian if he so desires to take the shots, and he does. Down goes the shield user. Toast now trying to find angles on both ends, and Trip does not allow that to happen. They secure themselves round number 2, and they are pushing up a 2-0 lead against Globochem.
Yeah, SMC, if just this is their map to be. This is clearly a map that they love and enjoy, and shield play from Trip, who's very confident on that shield, and kind of using it for different forms of utility rather than pent-up aggression. It seems to really work on this map, especially with the playstyle that SMC also brings to the table. And you can kind of see the difference here. Globochem are they're playing a more conservative shield style. And they're just getting caught in traps. They're getting C4, they're getting naded. It's not working that well for them.
Certainly not seeing the standard Globochem dominance, and I don't know, SMC really just playing this one straight up right now, doing a great job of putting up 2 points. Very interested to see how they attack this next objective as we hop into round number 3 of map number 1. This is SMC's map pick. Always important to remember who's home and who's away. And so far, they're doing pretty dang good on it.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good map pick. SMC have clearly put the hours in on Subway alone. And I think it's also due to the fact that Subway itself has had a major increase in playtime ever since its update.
A lot of folks do enjoy it. I think we're going to see some action pretty soon here as Soda and Trip make their way down top catwalk. Easy and Thunder Pilot positioned here. Got to wonder what kind of C4, what kind of nades they're going to be deploying, if any. And I'm sure that Trip and Captain Soda are also very much aware of that threat.
Well, an interesting thing to bring up here, both Izzy and Thunder Pilot are bringing rifleman loadouts. They don't have a specialist loadout up there.
C4 getting placed all throughout here because there's all sorts of angles you can toss it out. A nice nade comes down. Mike Crook does find kill, confirming shenanigans and Sir Lucian. That's 2 dead for SMC. Izzy here waiting for the shield to expose itself, but look at how Trip is crouched just out of that line of sight.
Oh, and Izzy pokes out there, trying to get a little aggressive. Does not account for the fact that Captain Soda is right there. Captain Soda is able to get both of the kills onto Izzy and Thunder Pilot, thus giving him the shield that his team captain formerly held.
Nice bit of maneuvering there from both squads. Globochem trying to follow up that Izzy push. Izzy getting denied by the rifle over the shield. A good bit of back and forth, and now Soda does have a rifle. He does have a shield. He's pillaged the enemy for everything it's worth, and it comes down to the 3 defenders, and I really like Globochem's tight defense. This is a situation that I think I like. This is a 3-man defensive setup. They have the angles covered they need to. Toast there watching the backside cap, Otto watching the underground entry, and then Mike has basically an angle on the entirety of upstairs. His real threat, though, is going to be Landon coming up and shooting his ankles.
Yeah, it's good that Globochem have definitely consolidated their forces around the objective, knowing where their priority is. And this objective can be a little challenging at times because it's out in the open. It's, Landon Jordan's able to find Mike Crook, but let's say before, it's out in the open, and there's not that many places to hide, but clearly Mike Crook sacrificed that. Now we're into a 2v2.
Pick up by Landon. Turns it to an even playing field. Toast, Otto, the final 2 defenders. Again, if you're going to have 2 defenders alive, this is probably where you want them to be, right? I mean, I guess you're exposed in the center, but ultimately, you're Toast being... If Toast goes down, then things are different.
Yeah, if you know that the enemy's not coming through catwalks, Toast's position is really good because he can stay really tucked in there, and he's got, the railroad tracks, the platform itself to provide him a great amount of cover where he can rotate around if he just needed to crouch at all. So I think he's in a really great position, and he has a good freedom to rotate, and that rotation is ultimately what saves his life there because Landon Jordan assumed that he was in the tunnel, which is a correct assumption, but that assumption should have been made a couple minutes ago.
Smoke getting deployed. I thought that might have been a nade, and it would have been the end of Toast's life. There's a flash up and over. I don't know if that catches Soda out. Soda doesn't seem to be too blind, and Toast goes down in a quick couple of rifle rounds. Landon Jordan looking for that final kill. Does spot Otto on a rotation. SMC Tactical are up 3-0 on Globochem and map 1.
It's really weird right now. This is not the standard Globochem we see. All I can think about right now when I see these plays is Globochem are panicking. Like, they're doing really weird moves. They're pushing away from the objective when they're in a 2v2, and they really should be consolidating their forces. And so I really got to wonder what's going through Globochem's mind here, because this just does not seem in character for them.
Definitely can hear the excitement in SMC's voice after taking those rounds. Things can't be going better for them right now, but we know Globochem, okay? We know they're not a team that just gives up. They don't roll over. They fight for every single round, and so I very much doubt Globo's counting themselves out just yet. And, you know, I think this is where a lot of teams do kind of fumble if they get up to a point like this against Globo. They kind of feel that confidence surging in, and then suddenly, whoa, what the heck? All 5 of us are dead. How did that happen? Whoa, we just lost 2 rounds in a row. What's going on? A cap comes in and you've lost the map in a heartbeat, you know?
Yeah, Globochem are definitely one of those teams that you should never ever get complacent with. They are a team of very intelligent players. They know how to change their play style. They're very skilled, so there's no way that you're gonna outgun them either, because they're always on and practicing and honing their skills. So you really got to be able to predict when that change up in the tactics are going to happen. And if you're able to do that, then you are on the top of the list of the teams.
SMC going into what could be match point for them. Map point, excuse me.
Map point.
As we hop into round number 4 of map 1.
You're making the time go by, man.
And this has been a pretty quick series so far. It's been good bit of back and forth. No one's really been pushing the time limit. Or gets tossed. But Globo kind of going an old route here, sending 4 up to the south stairwell.
Yeah, south stairwell's an interesting stairwell. It does, I don't know, it provides some cover, but it doesn't provide as much cover as some other options. Not really, but having Mike Crook go down there to kind of investigate the hostile positioning of SMC Tactical is definitely a good move, especially since a lot of teams don't place traps on the south stairwell, since not many people use it.
Soda's trapped here. He's got to deploy a smoke to try and deny the vision so he can push out from behind the cucumber juice vendor, and a nice little lob does get him the time he needs. He's able to push out and around and be able to tuck himself in. Continue to defend another day. What a crazy rotation to survive there.
Yeah, that is, they're mathematically that should not have happened, but regardless, Captain Soda was able to make the numbers work in his favor, tossing the smoke perfectly to blind his movements and only really make himself visible for a limited amount of time, just enough to let Globochem know that, hey, I made it, but they're still not able to pinpoint his position while mid-rotation. The nade does come out. It finds Captain Soda. Wow, the arm on that is absolutely incredible.
Landon, meanwhile, in a battle on the back stairwell while there's a 3 push coming in the south. Cross aggression coming in from this Globochem team. Toast just really drawing one defender while Otto slowly works his way ever closer to objective. And let's take a look at objective, because there is hardly any defenders surrounding it.
Yeah, it looks like SMC have really rotated themselves down and around the objective. They've only got Shenanigans really having eyes on there, and Landon Jordan can easily make the rotation, but he's not in an immediately visible area. So if Otto is able to find Shenanigans immediately, which is going to be a hard thing to do, but if he is able to do that, it falls onto Landon Jordan to be able to stop that cap.
Rotations coming in. Tripp's gotten himself into a bit of a interesting spot. He's tucked in there, was able to down Thunder. Thunder gets picked up by Mike. Toast swinging wide on a rotation, and Soda is down. Sir Lucian punishes that. The 3-man squad of Globochem, 4, is getting picked away slowly, but Otto, again, close to objective.
Yeah, it's really up to Sir Shenanigans here to be able to identify Otto's position here, but I don't really know what Shenanigans is doing. I feel like he's right in the line of sight that he could easily punish Otto right here. Otto doesn't see him clearly, but Landon Jordan sees him first. Otto rotates behind the pillar. He's trying to go tablet out, but the C4 placement comes in clutch.
Huge C4 placement. We saw it get tossed early. I wasn't sure how it was going to get utilized, but here it is. Thunder is going to apply pressure towards objective next as he starts to cross out and get his way up there. Sir Lucian and Mike Crook and Izzy in a bit of a firefight. Thunder does find an angle. Here comes the rotation from Shenanigans. The best option would be to grab Soda in this little train track lane, but I don't think Shenanigans is going to be able to get down there without getting lit up. There's a ton of eyes dialed in here.
Yeah, SMC are definitely in an awkward spot, and Globochem make the most of that. I think one mechanic that I really want to mention here is that when you're around the objective, you can't normally place C4 directly on the objective. That would be kind of dumb, and it would make capping the objective extremely hard. So the developers put in this radius around the objective to where you can't place C4. That radius, however, is a sphere. It's not like the objective capping radius, which is a cylinder. So you could manipulate your C4 placement to still have coverage on the objective if you know how those shapes work out.
Takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of dedication, figuring out exactly how all these tools can be utilized in your defensive approach and SMC tactical. Well, but doing a nice job of preventing a cap. Okay, that C4 stopped Otto from punching in a code free and easy. But Globochem starting to come alive. That looked a bit more coordinated. They were a bit more in sync there. They found the kills they needed. Granted, it came down to a 1v3 or a 1v2, so it did get pretty close. But I don't know. You can't let this momentum start to slide. Like we said, if Globochem start to mount some W's under their belt, they are a hard team to shut down. And we're shifting over now to a north objective for what could be, again, at point for SMC Tactical.
Yeah, this is such a shield-friendly objective, and trip on that shield can be very deadly. So the question is, can Globochem successfully counter whatever Trip has in store? They have to if they want to be able to stay in here.
Before buried in the stairs there to deny entry. Thunder just getting a little bit of a harassment shots down the lane just to slow up any sort of move. Solution. Soda obviously dialed in now on that corner.
Couple of nades going out there, fall a little short like you said, and it won't do any damage. That one actually goes long, but that flash is perfect, but fortunately no one is there to receive that.
And we haven't seen that bank shot. You remember seeing that? That bank shot off the wall for the perfect angle into that lane? I haven't seen anyone
you gotta
it yet.
It's a little the bouncing mechanics in this game are a little let's just put it this way, the game was definitely not built for racquetball.
Not a basketball simulator, it's a military simulator.
I haven't handled any hand grenades lately, but I'm pretty sure that they don't bounce that well.
Very true. Either way, SMC is making their entry point in through the north. They've opted for what looks to be a 4-man press with the 5th watching the flank, so everyone investing their time here in these stairs. There's C4 placed, but a bit farther down, really more in the range of where Thunder and Izzy are. Oh, actually, here's one buried. That's a clacker. Why is there a clacker there?
Runs on in, and it's perfect. It finds Izzy and Thunder Pilot.
Wow.
That C4 is still ready, though.
I don't think anyone can detonate it. I think Izzy was going to be the one that would detonate that C4. If that's not the case, then yes, Mike can certainly spoil the entry here for SMC, but
well, you don't need a clacker to detonate a C4. You just need a nade. If they're able to get a nade just in front of Trip, that'll do it. Trip's able to get a confirm onto Izzy. He doesn't know that he's risking his own life in the process of doing so, but regardless, SMC's nades have been pretty much on point. Oh!
There it is.
Wow, what a nice placement. And the nade from Trip's own nade confirms himself. Now it's all up to Landon Jordan and Captain Soda and Sir Lucian to be able to salvage something from this north approach. We do have one member SMC who's on the back, you know, watching the rear, making sure no one's flanking around. But at this point, I wouldn't be too worried about that. Your team's kind of dying or beginning to die here. Maybe it's time to rotate.
That C4 did spoil the shield, and now they have to do some awkward entries. Landon putting gun first before body as he tries to crawl down these stairs and get an angle onto what could be Mike's defensive position. He's got to be careful not to use all his ammo, or else he is going to have to back up and reload, readjust.
Wow. Oh, Mike got too peeky there, and Landon will be able to find that. Now it's all up to Otto on objective. The other remaining member of Globochem is a little bit off, so the rotations could be hard. Otto is able to find Landon Jordan. He peeks out. He has to peek back. Now the rest of SMC know exactly where he's at. They know it's a little bit dangerous. Otto peeks again. Now it's all up to Toast to prevent this cap. Luckily, he's right by there. He primes a nade. It goes out there. SMC back up. Unfortunately, that doesn't do it. SMC Tactical will take map 1.
Very commanding entry into the north. All 4 of them with rifles trained on anybody peeking the corner. And in a very solid map number 1, SMC Tactical defeat Globochem 4-1. I didn't expect to see this today, Todd.
Me neither, but I'm loving it. I'm loving every minute of it. Just seeing the defending champions given a run for their money on map 1 here. Now, like you were saying before, is this the end of Globochem? Absolutely not. They're gonna readjust. They're gonna come back here on map 2, probably. Don't take my word for it. SSC can totally take it on map 2, and I'll be a happy man still. But
that's the most half and half answer I've ever heard, Todd.
Well, I'm all about that, okay? But, you know, I really don't know what's going to happen on map 2. Globochem can change their playstyle in a heartbeat, and they might just go ahead and do that.
It is going to be bizarre for our second map pick of the day. This is Globo's choice. Surprised not to see Quarantine, to be honest, because right now Globo need a map win. They typically tend to gravitate towards a Quarantine when they need that map win. See them pick Bazaar. I honestly think it's kind of out of character for them normally. Maybe they feel like they've got something on SMC. Maybe they've been practicing up their Bazaar. They've been boning up on some Bazaar defensive angles. Who knows? I'm very
and maybe this is just a bizarre pick for them. Get it? I'm great, aren't I?
Fired.
You heard it from him. 100th cast and fired.
I have a very quick button. I can turn this into solo cast in a heartbeat, okay?
Okay, I see how it is.
I won't pull you on your 100th cast. Are you kidding? That's a heck of an accomplishment, Todd, by the way. Everyone in chat.
Oh, thank you.
Give Todd a congratulations, please. He has officially casted 100 Onward VRML matches. That is... It's a lot.
I mean, it's an honor to be able to do this. I know there's a lot of people out there in the community who, you know, or in any real video game really, who want to be able to go ahead and cast for like the games that they love, whether it be, you know, some AAA rated game or just some, you know, some iPhone game or whatever out there, to be able to be the voice of community and be able to kind of share my thoughts, my vision, or you know, the things that I see out there, and kind of become pop culture in a way that way. It's just a huge honor. So I got to really thank the crew for keeping me on board here and taking me on.
Glad to have you, Todd. It's been a pure joy. And this game has been a pure joy, too. What a great 100th, huh? So far, SMC 4-1 against Globo. We're about to hop into round number 1 of map 2. Good stuff.
I swear I didn't plan it that way, but I'm glad it ended up this way.
It really is a very good, great series to have as your 100th. Again, what is Globochem going to bring to the table? It looks like it's going to be a pretty dang quick push because they do have that fast spawn.
Yeah, they are already within striking distance. That's just the quick spawn lives up to its name as always, and especially with Globochem, they are ever so aggressive on this spawn. Mike Crook on the shield, he's going to be an ever existing threat to this defense right now, especially with the ability in the position that he's in. He could just call up places, and there is nothing that SMC can do to stop him.
Got free vision. Essentially, all of this two-story. We're going to be able to get an angle. But everybody patiently waiting for Globochem to make this entry. SMC is not peeking out. They are not looking for any picks out here in the courtyard. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Usually you see at least someone looking for something here through a window.
Looks like Mike Crook is looking through a window to identify SMC, but like you said, SMC are just waiting for Globochem to come to them. They're not trying to get too aggressive. I think that's what they realized Globochem was doing before. That's where it went wrong for Globochem, is because they were looking for those peaks. Globochem felt that they can outshoot SMC, when SMC really just came more prepared in that sense.
A bit of banter.
Ooh.
A nade comes in, just misses going down the lane. That would have caught Trip if that was properly thrown.
Don't come get me. Don't come get me. It's all good.
And an Oscar award for best acting goes to Triple Dipple for faking the down.
All you want. Come get me. Don't be a bitch. Shut the fuck up.
Oh my goodness, the banter is on point between these two. You know, these teams have played together since the beginning of Onward, I want to say.
Oh.
You're gonna get the best banter. Toast finds solution.
To find another kill if you careful about it and doesn't overextend through this entry point. Landon does have eyes on. Toast tucks in, almost finds shots onto Shenanigans, but can't quite secure them before getting tagged himself. Dips back out, looks for shots onto Soda. Those aren't there. The push is coming in from Globo.
Yeah, now Mike Crook is pushing his way on in with the shield. He's got some smoke there to cover his effect there, but the C4 goes off, and once again, it'll tag him and Izzy. More shots going on there as Globochem try to make their entrance into the actual courtyard itself, but SMC are just so well tucked in. It's a challenge for Globochem right now.
Still, they're tucked in. They have not peeked out of their angles. Thunder here exposed to Soda. Soda finds one, but before he does, he goes down. Toast picking up a few as Landon looks for these shots coming from Toast. Can't see them through the window. Shenanigans opposite side. Landon sees the back exposed. One-hand rifles Toast down. Otto with 250 left can now take a breath, swing around, look for the pick onto Shenanigans, and try and turn around this one.
Yeah, it's definitely against a team like SMC. That's going to be a really hard hard couple of numbers to crunch there. But you know, it's Globochem. They have the experience. They can definitely work with a 2v1 situation here. And Shenanigans already has identified Otto's position by that tank. Otto has to rotate in order to make sure that no counterflank happens his way. That C4 was predictive, but it was too predictive. That would have been amazing.
That was
There was
close.
no way that there would have been no way that Shenanigans could have directly seen that that's where the C4 was. But regardless, that was some great predictive work right there. Otto is just trying to make that line up. Shenanigans is shooting through a window. Otto's going to have the disadvantage there because Shenanigans is the smaller target. But luckily, Otto survives that bout. Now he's working his way out to the objective. Landon Jordan is right there. Otto sees Landon Jordan, but Landon Jordan gets the shot off first. SMC Tactical will continue their role and get the first point on map 2.
That was chaos. That was absolute chaos entering there, and honestly, but it was just how SMC planned their defense. Look at the overhead. You look at your overhead map, you can see all of those deaths from SMC Tactical, from Globochem are right on top of objective because SMC's defense was around it. Their kill box was the objective. Once Globochem got there, that's when things got challenging.
Yeah, I think Globochem, or at least SMC, I should say, in this case, made Globochem feel like that they were in more control than they actually were.
Yeah.
They allowed them a lot more real estate. That got that into Globochem's head that, hey, maybe SMC are extremely spread out here. Maybe they're trying to get as much real estate themselves. No, they're not. They're right there. They're waiting for you. You fell into their shit. You got jebaited, is what they say. And that's really all I can say about that match. Globochem got jebaited.
Solid rounds here coming out of SMC. They are earning their victory right now against this Globochem team. I don't know if it's SMC's skill level or if Globo just aren't firing on all cylinders. I just still feel like we haven't really seen. Well, I don't know. I think it's SMC just doing a great job of denying it, to be honest. I think this SMC playing really well.
I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of both, though. Globochem aren't playing as conservatively as we normally do. Normally, when I think of like a Globochem strat, I'm thinking of like a mid-game push.
Yeah, 2.5
And we saw
minutes.
a bit of that here, but we're not really seeing that as much. We're not seeing as aggressive as a push. We're seeing a bit of that trickling in of players, and I feel like that's where Globochem are kind of falling short here. Is that they're not pushing it as one. They're not providing as much aggression as they possibly could. It's really just one player at a time doing work, one player at a time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Globochem defend. It looks like it's going to be a pretty aggressive one as they do send some smokes here down this lane to cross. But look at SMC on the overhead. They are prioritizing north heavily. So all of this south posturing, all of this east smoke is in vain because not a single SMC tactical enemy is over there. Yeah,
and SMC are they granted they had a bit of a different spawn, but they are taking this way slower than Globochem ever did. I think they're just trying to make sure that they have complete control of every inch of real estate that they take, and making sure that Globochem don't have any means to get around their defense or their offense.
One kill into the hands of SMC already here in the north. Does put them into a nice little 5v4. Rip confirming that kill, so no res available. And they're sort of just bounding on both sides of this street, up this north street here, slowly getting closer to a point where they can enter in from the north onto objective, and that's when Landon and Soda make their entry, and you sort of do that full court press from all angles. And I think that's sort of what SMC were missing. Thunder is going to deny at least Sir Lucian from making his way up here, and as soon as he gets that kill, drops back, checks the east side, doesn't want to invest too much time in holding one angle.
Yeah, Thunderpile there taking one out of the SMC book.
Yeah,
Shoot,
right.
move, communicate. And I think he does that very well. Globochem, I've said this many times before, their play style is not like a lot of teams where we kind of see a lot of teams emphasize the stealth. Globochem will just take you out of that stealth mindset. When you're playing with them even in a pub or a cop lobby, they're just chatting away. They're talking to each other constantly, and they're keeping that communication open. And I think that's what really makes them one of the best teams out there, is the fact they will communicate any and everything that they see.
SMC -1, that earlier trade does turn it into a 4v4. We'll see how that affects their entry, as Soda here kind of getting ahead of the rest of his squad, is slowly inching his way up to objective. Do you think he could sneak through this Globochem defense? I don't think Otto's going to miss.
Yeah, well, he's got to be able to take out Otto first before Otto sees that. Otto is panning right now, so the opportunity is right there. Otto's not looking. Soda's able to find that one. He's going to shoot, move, and communicate. Now Mike Crook is aware of the positioning of Cap Soda. Cap Soda's not too far away from where he made that kill, so it should be pretty easy for Globochem to kind of lock on to the positioning here. But the fact that Cap Soda's gotten away with what he has done already, and there's been no shots fired back, is concerning. Trip's able to find Thunderpile as well. Globochem are only 2 strong. SMC Tactical are 4. The manpower's on their side. Cap Soda's just waltzing his way up to the objective right now, and no one's really looking. Is he tried to respawn? But no, he's not able to do it. Now it's all up to Mike Crook to stop it. He will, due to a lucky peek. Landon Jordan is now working his way up very slowly. Mike Crook is moving around really quick. This is the perfect time for Landon Jordan to be able to punish it. He will.
Shit, boys.
I said I got him, and I got him.
SMC snagging themselves another round, putting up their lead 2-0 on the map pick of Globochem. You couldn't ask for a better way to start your second map against Globo. They've got the momentum that they, from that 4-1 Subway victory. Again, the bizarre map pick. I don't know if that's what Globo needed. I think maybe a quarantine would have better served them against the likes of SMC, but I don't know. We'll see if they can start to rally back. Again, they're not a team we ever count out. If you count out Globochem, that's when you get counted out.
Yeah, exactly. And I do have to agree with you, though. I think Quarantine would have played much better against SMC because they don't really like those long-range maps. And SMC Tactical have been on point with their anti-shield tactics. So you want to get off of a map that requires Mike Crook to play the shield. You want him to get on that sniper loadout. So it forces SMC to kind of think about the game differently. And I think Quarantine would really help Globochem in that sense of taking away that advantage that SMC had before.
They needed to do something. They need to still do something to throw off this SMC momentum, because it has been I mean, when did Globo score on Subway? Was it 1-1? Is it?
No, it was 3-1.
Okay, so they at least gotten a point in the last 5 rounds. But either way, you know, it has been a dominating SMC performance here. 6-1 overall on the scoreline, and we'll see if they can continue this trend up into round number 3 of map 2.
And you gotta wonder, like, the Globochem roster hasn't changed much. As a matter of fact, they got back one of their old season veterans, Toast.
I think there's, in terms of what they look like on paper, it's the strongest they've ever been.
Yeah, bringing back some of the old vets with some of these new young guns like Mike Crook, Izzy, and then you also, you know, like the vets, Otto, Toast, Mixologist, Thunder Pilot. Like, you've got some of the greatest Onward players on your team. And SMC is rocking you. That these are a bunch of SMC are just a bunch of former cats and hats. Granted, they are incredibly skilled, but it's like they don't nearly have the same tenure as Globochem do.
Well, I wouldn't say a bunch of SMCs. You still got Landon, you still got Soda,
Yeah,
you still got the core there. But yeah, it certainly has seen roster shakeups. The core guys, though, are the ones that have been performing well today. Landon doing great, helping his team secure what could be a series win if they can come out on top of map 2, but they've got a bit of ways to go. They got to defend against the Globochem offense, which we're seeing right now. Kind of taking their time. This is more of what we expected, right? A bit more patient, a bit more conservative, maybe a push coming in around 2.5 minutes, and not so much around 3.5 or 4.
Yeah, Globochem are a team that like to operate off of facts. They don't operate off of speculation. They like to know exactly where people are at. That's why that communication comes into process. So when they slow down their gameplay, it allows for more flow of information, and it allows for them to really to blossom more as a team. And we saw them try to play it quicker before on Subway in these first rounds, and I don't think it went as well. But when we slow it down and we see this team aspect come into play, I think we'll see them definitely start bringing it back here and giving SMC a little bit more of a challenge if they want to try to beat them at least.
You're just tuning in, you don't know what you're looking at. This is a really nice smokes play here. Globochem walking their smokes up and angling them so that the smoke deploys outward and covers the street that they then want to cover. Thunder, Otto, the whole team making it across this street without being shot through the smoke. And now they have a lot of unique terrain to work with. The south entryway from the south stairs, I think, favors Marsoc more so than it does Volk. And so if they can continue to apply the pressure here, it could be Globochem getting a point on the board.
Yeah, they desperately need these points on the board. They need a cap is what they really need. And we know Mike Crook can cap really quickly, especially on this objective. Ooh, but Landon Jordan finds Izzy. That is not the start to this round that they wanted. Wow, that is a weird angle, but it worked nonetheless.
I'm pretty sure it was all the way down the street. One does go down all the way down there as well, so it is a 5v4. I wonder if SMC are going to rotate those guys they have over on the East 2 objective. Toast able to pick off shenanigans before C4 catches him.
Now Izzy's trying to find Trip, but Capsoda's going to be able to find Toast there. And now we are into a 3v3 with 3 minutes left on the board.
Soda nearly gets picked up, ducks behind some marble pallets there before he gets scooped up, and does come down to Lucian and Soda. One resable way over in East, but you can't invest in getting that res. That's too far away from objective. They need to defend. Thunder Pilots picked off Soda. Globochem looking to secure this Marsoc round. I wonder if Cap's on their mind as Sir Lucian postures to deny that from happening.
That down over by the catwalk can be both a blessing and a curse. Well, it's more of a curse now as Izzy finds Solution and Globochem take a round. What I was going to say before is that while he's calling out Otto's position, that could get the last member kind of hyper-focused on that one position rather than worrying about the main push, which is happening from a side that, you know, Landon couldn't see. So that might have messed with the last member, I believe Solution's mind there. But regardless, I'm pretty sure Globochem are pretty happy to kind of get the ball rolling back in their court again.
Yeah, absolutely. And that looked more akin to a Globochem push. Very coordinated, very on point. The smoke's very neat. They got everyone across on that south side. They've pressed South Street, and they found the picks they needed. A bit of a back and forth on that street, but if you have 4 to 3, you can afford to trade each and every kill and get yourself a win. So ultimately, W goes into the hands of Globochem. We now shift our attention over to SMC. They go on the offensive for round number 4.
Yeah, and keep in mind, if SMC are able to get those 7 digits in for that cap, they run away with not only the map, but the game as well. So this is going to be very interesting if they're able to get on objective.
Okay, good. Do we even want to do this? Okay, here. Whatever. Give me. We don't have any other good options, I don't think.
A bit of questioning in their overall strategy here, and it's been a bit delayed. Thunder is going to be charging up here. He will be looking for some early shots. Soda does cross the street, and he actually challenges Thunder, finds one. Is he going to be ready for Mike Crook here, who also has pushed his way up over into this east side?
Yeah, the question is Mike Crook radioed any kind of information out that Captain Soda might have overheard? And it seems that Captain Soda is aware of the positioning. Oh, Mike Crook's able to find solutions, shenanigans. A nice double, all for the price of his own life. I think that's worth it in the end for Globochem there, as SMC have gone down to 3 strong. Globochem are 4.5. Well, now 3 strong now.
And it is,
But
I mean, it is 3-3, but Global got a lot of information there.
Yeah.
Mike radioed in that he's got 2, and who knows if he was able to call out that there's 3 here. But, you could see the attention shift. Everyone over in that west side of defense instantly dropped off. They are all now waiting for the east push, and, they have the information. They've acted off of it.
Yeah, now Globochem can reposition their defense into much more optimized positions in order to counter for a south push, which is, it can be a tougher push to work with because you have to cross that street on defense. But if you just buy your time, wait enough, Marsoc have to cross that same street. That's when your best advantage comes into play. Otto's able to find Landon Jordan as he was trying to get across the street or walk along it at least. Captain Soda and Trip are now kind of just trying to coordinate something out of this and figure out what's the best way to get to the objective or get some kills here. Trip's able to identify Otto's position, but he's not able to get the shots landed. Otto will rotate to a slightly different position, finds the angle, gets stripped down. Now it's all up to Captain Soda here. Globochem are definitely back in this.
Absolutely. Momentum starting to take a shift here in Globochem's favor. 3-1 now. All against Captain Soda looking for these shots. Can't secure them as he has had a couple opportunities for shots onto the Globochem defense, but hasn't been able to land them. Now he's in a bit of a bind, but has plenty of time. If he can slowly and surely take off a Globochem defender a minute, he will be able to eliminate this defense. Otto doesn't let that happen with a bit of a trade, and map number 2 is tied up 2-2. We got ourselves a engaging series time.
Oh yeah, we were definitely talking about this before. Globochem are definitely not a team to keel over and surrender themselves. They are coming back here in full force. I think they've really found the groove that works against SMC Tactical. Now it's on to SMC Tactical to kind of change up their groove and see if they can find, some kind of play style that can counter this Globochem offense and defense.
All right. Just need to play consistently. They need to get back to where they were on Subway. The comms, the coordination was very good. And again, I don't even think that they haven't been doing that. I just think Globochem have been stepping up on the rounds that they have been playing and finding the kills they've needed to. That double from Mike was huge, They don't find that pick, Mike gets scooped up. That's a SMC round in the books. That's a 5v3.
Yeah, I think one of the major factors that's least talked about in Onward is really a game of the winner is whoever talks the most. And we all know Trip, he loves to talk. Our fellow caster, rightfully a caster so because of that trait. And if he can somehow motivate his team to kind of share more information, kind of shift them away from that quiet gameplay, maybe they can kind of understand the Globochem positioning better. Maybe they can work something off of in the heat of the moment and work their way back here and maybe be able to find a win in map 2, which would be absolutely incredible.
it's very doable right now. They are looking like they've started to warm up a bit. They're starting to find the kills they need if they can continue that momentum here on to Kayat, which is our next objective. They potentially could be targeting Cap here, potentially grabbing themselves a second map, pushing this into a best of 3. Who knows, Todd? Who knows as we hop into round 5?
And we're gonna find out here in about 6 minutes of what happens here if Globochem can get the cap off and keep themselves in for map 3. That's exactly what they need at this point.
2 minutes.
Or if
2 minutes at this pace.
Oh yeah. Or if SMC could just hang in there and try to, you know, keep their hard work in line and be able to try to just be one round closer to securing a map 2 victory. It looks like we gotta see, if we take a look at the map, it's a very spread out Globochem. Trying to attack this objective from all sides.
Oh, what a great time.
Wow.
C4 toss there from Trip. As soon as Toast rounded that corner, the C4 was landing and detonates right when he's in its view. Very fortunate timing for Trip to secure themselves a kill. And Globochem have now sort of lost their west approach. Everyone else here, except for Mike, is going to be focusing on pushing in from the.
It's really interesting seeing the C4 played less as like a defensive strategy, more as an offensive strategy, you know, chucking it at people rather than, you know, placing it in a way that would trick them into going to the location. And we see it again. Another airburst C4 doesn't find it again, but just proves the point. SMC are taking, you know, what would normally be very defensive, you know, utility and using it in offensive ways.
Yeah, from Shenanigans, that was a pretty far forward C4 toss. You know, he doesn't need to contest the entry here from Thunder. They don't even need to contest this east courtyard. They can leave this be, but they want to make sure that they can at least find a kill or 2 if they do try and enter in from this side. So I do think that Landon and Shenanigans are going to be the most important defenders for this SMC tactical defense. Otto might be finding himself with an angle soon enough.
Yeah, and those walls are so nice to be able to try to find angles. It really limits how much of your body is available. You have to shoot through another wall of bricks, which are a little bit more artsy in the way that they were placed because they've obviously been knocked down by something. But it does allow for some interesting cover, especially depending on which part of the wall you use. Otto's kind of spotting for the rest of his team. Oh, Thunderpilot is literally next door neighbors to Shenanigans right now. They've got to hear each other. Izzy's in a bit of a firefight. He's not able to find anybody. Thunderpilot does find Shenanigans in the end there.
Really nice round there to find that pick from Thunder. Really savvy move there. I don't even know how he heard him because somehow he did, but amidst that fire, he finds a pick. Landon puts some rounds downrange onto Thunder, drops off of his defensive position and tucks himself in just a little bit.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing here. He's waiting for Landon to have to force himself to be exposed, or moving to a place where Landon would have to expose himself. Wait, you know, just trying to remove that defensive advantage from SMC Tactical. But he can only do this for so long. We've only got 2.5 minutes effectively remaining on the clock here to end the round some way for Marsoc here, whether it be a cap or a full team wipe. But regardless, they have to do one of those two. Running the timer out is not an option for Globochem at this point.
They definitely have slowed up their moves. I think that the quick pace was not working in their favor, and they addressed that. They've adjusted their offensive pressure. 2 minutes in now, and they are starting to make their way onto objective. This is more Globochem. You know, this is more of what I expect out of them. Izzy with a nice pickup onto lane and a key pickup, radios that in, and the push continues. Auto Thunder on that north street. Izzy scrambling around in courtyard, trying to clear every single angle.
Yeah, and Otto's able to find solution as well. Globochem are here, and they're here to stay. They really want this objective, showing that, you know, they're not any other team that SMC would lose to in 2 maps. Izzy works her way on it. She's cleared the bottom floor. She's going tablet out. She is capping right now. Globochem can run away with map 2 here and stay in this. Trip is rotating around. Izzy's having a hard time. He does not see Izzy, and Izzy's able to secure the round. Globochem will get map 2. They are here to stay, and they are here to show exactly that.
Quite a comeback from Globochem, and you know, it was the scenario I put out there that was a hypothetical. You know, they could come back, they could get these rounds, they could get a cap, they could push themselves up 4-2, but I presented it to SMC and not to Globo. Globochem are the ones that execute on it. They're the ones that take the 4-2 map 2. Now we go to SMC's map pick for map 3. What is it going to be? Cargo? Do you challenge Globochem on Cargo, or do you take it to Quarantine for yourself?
That is an excellent question. Personally, if I was SMC, I would do the Cargo option because, let's face it, they did extremely well on Subway.
Yeah.
You might as well keep the quarters close. Don't give Globochem Mike Crooks, you know, don't make this Mike Crooks playground. Yeah. Don't give him that sniping option. Keep him in the way that you're used to killing him. That is when he feels like he has to use the shield.
Yeah, certainly a great job from SMC of shutting down Globochem thus far, but I totally agree with you. I think keeping it to these tight quarters is exactly what they need to do. They need to keep Globochem in firefights, and they can't allow Globochem to do what they did right there on Bazaar. Take it slow, get the timing right, get into position, push objective. That was standard Globochem. That was a 2.5 minute push. That's exactly when Globochem succeed, when they push in. Saw them try things earlier and faster, and it didn't work. They adjusted in that Bazaar map, and we saw it happen in real time. Now the question is, can SMC apply enough pressure, keep things fast-paced enough that they can keep Globochem off their game? Map 3 on Cargo.
Yeah, well, it is Cargo. And honestly, my word of advice from casting Cargo umpteen number of times, not 100, I can guarantee that, but you just don't know what you're going to expect. It's one of those maps, there's a bit of magic to it. I know a lot of teams are really annoyed by it, mainly because they played it so many times, but because of the fact that they've played it so many times, there's not really a bias anymore. A lot of teams are very creative with how they handle objectives that would normally be biased against them. And it's almost amazing to see when those kind of magical moments happen on Cargo. And right now, both these teams could use one of those magical moments if they want to be able to take each other down.
I thought we were going into that round 1. I thought I heard a countdown. Maybe it was a false alarm in my ears. There it is. We are going to be hopping into round 1 of map 3. This is SMC versus Globochem. A matchup as old as the league itself, and it's taken to a map 3. Some things just never change, Todd. These guys always have good matchups.
Yeah, it's always exciting. They have very similar play styles, and they know each other so well that it's always so fun to watch. And the moment I saw this pop up, was like, yes, I want this.
If Mike Crook and Toast and the rest of Globochem want this as well, because it is the series decider, map 3. Everything comes down to this. And interestingly enough, SMC Tactical have slowed up their approach for Cargo on round 1.
Yeah, I think they're taking this really cautious. They know that Globochem can bite back. They're not as easy as they thought they would be on map 1. It's interesting because I felt like I saw SMC Tactical be a bit more, you know, in the state of flow on map 1. But Trip is already able to find Toast. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are in a state of flow already. Being able to find those little picks of those quick peaks.
Wonder if the res rotation comes in. The nade toss from Landing catches Otto through the door. Thunder is going to be able to pick that up relatively uncontested, but more nades are raining in. Smokes, it seems, though, to deny vision and allow SMC to push up on this objective.
Oh yeah, plenty of smokes to go around. There's some green, some white. It's gonna really be a colorful scene here as Captain Soda makes his way on up there. He tries to identify Izzy's position. Izzy peeks out. She's not quick enough for the C4. We'll get that refrag from Mike Crook. So Lucian's firing those barrels, making sure that no one's there to launch any surprises, but Globochem are now down to 3 effective members. They've got one person who is resable, but it's going to be a long shot. More nades going out there. Mike Crook is kind of rotating through the cargo container. He's trying to make sure that his position isn't in one place so no nades can just easily be lobbed right onto his position. Shenanigans now pushing on up there. Thunderpilot rotates around. He's able to find one. Trip is right around the corner there. He has that shield. He's in a very powerful position inside that box. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He doesn't have the shield, but he does peek around there from that powerful position. He's able to find Thunderpilot. Now he's working his way on in. This is not the one where you can cap inside the building, so I think he's just memorizing the code right now, but he is tablet out. He's working his way on over. Otto does not see Trip. Trip abandons the cap, gets shot by Otto. Solution is coming around the corner. Otto fights that one as well. That's 2 for Otto so far. He just needs to find one more as we're in a 1v1 here. Landon Jordan's on the other side. He's been extremely powerful for SMC, but can he get it through to get that first point or 2? We're about to find out here as the action comes to a standstill as both these players are just waiting each other out.
Time, Todd. Give it time. Landon will get there eventually, slowly inching his way up.
It's almost like he immediately knew that he was the last one up, and he just immediately changed his play style.
Knows what's at hand. He knows where the stakes are at. Otto seems to be pretty aware of Landon's position as well. This angle he's holding is very much waiting for Landon to cross out to objective. Landon's taking his time, going very slow though here. Steps. I don't think that's audio that Otto can really pick up on. And I like the drop back from Landon.
Bit of a confirm going out there. Oh, it's onto a C4 that dropped. I don't think it's active though. I think it's a little. No, it's not too close, but it's good that Landon's being precautious, but that does give away his position.
The moment Otto dropped his hold on this angle too, Landon crosses, so I don't think Otto's going to expect Landon to be here at all, and I gotta wonder if Landon can work his way up to objective without Otto detecting it. Will Otto invest so heavily in his belief that he's held this angle well enough and that no one can be here is the true question, because Otto could just sit there while Landon caps.
Yeah, if Landon's able to just hold the correct angle and just wait it out, he could just get right up to that boundary in such an open place. But if he's able, like you said, if he's just able to call up that Otto's just going to hang out in that room and just hold that angle, he can get SMC with 2 points here.
Wow. What a round one of cargo to kick things off. Otto is getting a little antsy. He does come out. Landon finds an exposed back, an easy shot, and a round one for SMC. That got a little close for comfort for SMC.
Oh yeah, definitely. Globochem were looking really strong there at first, but then when it came down to that 1v1, I think the pressure really got to Otto there. And maybe this is another thing about, you know, a quarantine pick. You're like we keep alluding to here. It's kind of been the theme of the Cats, but maybe Globochem just want operating room. Maybe they want room to rotate around. I don't think Otto really wanted to stay in one spot for that entirety of that defense, waiting for someone to get to them. Right. He wants to move around. He wants to be able to force encounters on his own terms. And on a close range match like this, SMC Tactical are much better at that than Globochem.
Yeah, and to that point, I think SMC is shutting down the ability for Globochem to be flexible. You know, they're preventing them from pushing out and getting these angles. They're challenging them when they do. They're just doing a great job of reading rotations, and SMC, you know, I think that's what's maybe allowed them to continue to challenge Globochem. They've been able to sort of find the picks that they need off of exposed angles, because it's just, they're doing a great job, at the very least, trading 1-for-1.
Well, SMC Tactical seem pretty happy going into this, and I would be too if you force Globochem into a map 3 decider and you're already taking the first round.
Yeah, pretty good feeling.
Now, have SMC Tactical ever beaten Globochem before? Let's get this hype train going.
I don't know, Todd. Do a deep dive into the stats. We have the books. We have it all in the books, you know.
Yeah.
Check it all out by heading on over to vrmasterleague.com/on.
Oh, I have it bookmarked, so no need for all that typing, but I'll let you take it away, NightFiree, as I bring up the stat.
I'm waiting for Globochem to take it away as they do make their slow but sure entry. A little bit faster than SMC did, and wonder if that's going to bite Toast in the butt here. Solution tosses up a nade. It does get one kill. Other nades follow up. Those don't find any purchase. It is just going to be a 1-for-1 here as we go into a 4v4. Keep things even. C4 detonated. Utility getting used. Solution finds Thunderpilot Auto with the refrag. Excuse me, finds a frag on. Yeah, it does find the refrag. Also picks up Shenanigans. SMC getting whittled away here.
And while we have a little break, it is true. I don't think SMC. Oh no. Their first game, SMC Tactical's first game, is the only time that they've ever beaten Globochem, and that was back in 2017. So a bit of a drought here.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding. 3 years since they've been able to take a win away from Globochem, but Globochem are not making this easy. Although SMC does have a 1-0 lead, right now they're about to challenge a 3-2 defense. Smokes are out here, and that is a very good smoke. You couldn't really ask for a better one.
No, it definitely blocks that line of sight and makes it could potentially allow for one member of Globochem to kind of slip past the defense. Otto is able to find Capsoda. Landon Jordan finds Izzy, but I have to wonder if he got it confused for Otto. No, he doesn't. He's checking that angle where Otto was before, but now the Globochem squad are beginning to push their way on up here. Otto might be able to find Landon Jordan. Landon Jordan finds a nice little cheeky little spot, but Otto is ready for that. Globochem will take a counter round of their own.
I mean, that's basically a textbook demonstration of why you never leave any angle unchecked. You know, maybe Otto heard that, but I think that's more just standard discipline that Globochem have burnt into their minds. You know, they've trained to, hey, when you round this, you better check that deep corner because there's always someone there. You know, nades can sometimes miss their target in that corner. There's so many possibilities, and that's just discipline from Globochem to get that kill. A lot of players will miss it. Landon finds a pick. He's on the backside of Globochem then, and it's bad news. So really heads up play there to keep even. And we're not taking any time between round stop.
Oh, no plan. No strats, best strats, I think is what Trip would say. I don't know about Thunderpilot, but I think they've played together for so long that they don't really need to discuss the strat. They know it.
Yeah, there's definitely not a no strat policy for Globochem. They run under with strats for sure, but gotta wonder how SMC are going to attack this one. It is a volatile objective, very open to smokes, pushes, cap attempts. Might be finding himself some action as he does take shots on and misses. And Thunder is slowly inching his way up to tunnel. I wonder if he's going to try and contest.
Yeah, he can. That could be such a good flanking position if he's able to keep his cover. Shenanigans is watching those entrances though, he's kind of sweeping both of the doorways, I should say, both by the tunnel, by the cargo containers. He's able to identify Toast's or Izzy's location. I'm sorry. But they're not able to get any shots to land. Globochem has they've been doing their kind of iconic in and out kind of peeking style to make sure that they limit the amount of time that they are visible to SMC Tactical.
Thunder staying disciplined, not overextending. Izzy just a centimeter away from getting shot here by Landon. He swings, doesn't find anything. Thunder still doesn't apply the pressure.
Yeah, I think Thunder is just waiting for the right moment to know that SMC have moved way past him already. Thunderpilot's able to find one. He's trying to go for the second one. Landon Jordan is behind that crate. He hears Thunder, but Izzy's able to find Landon Jordan instead. Now the push on the other side of the map is happening. Otto's able to find Captain Soda. And now we're down into a 2v3. Trip's able to find Otto. That's great news for SMC Tactical as they now bring it down to what is truly a 3v3 now. I don't know where my numbers went, but they did somewhere. Thunderpilot is able to find Solution. Now we're into a 2v3 finally. And Trip Shenanigans begins to make his way down the tunnel. Thunderpilot is in a great opportunity to shut that down there, but they're gonna trade instead. One member left standing on both sides with one able to give callouts for Globochem, but Mike Crook is right there. The res is possible. And it does come out. Izzy tries to go for that pick, but it does not happen. Trip is able to get that. It is Trip versus Mike right now, and it's getting intense.
crazy back and forth. Trip avoiding the nades, finding the res. Mike still somehow alive in this equation, and there's 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. I want to talk about playing things fast, playing it quick, utilizing the utility to your advantage to apply pressure. That's exactly what SMC have done here, and I don't know. This might be another replication of the last round, but just a different side of the map. Trip may be able to find the backside of a Globochem defender.
Yeah, SMC have definitely changed it up mid-round on how they play. You know, they were playing relatively aggressively before, or at least in the middle of the round. But now as we kind of approach this third stage of the round, the 1v1, Trip has slowed the play down in a way that's manageable for him. So that way he can kind of check every single corner that he needs to check so he doesn't run into an ambush. And speaking of ambushes, he notices Mike's location, and he's able to get the pick. Trip's reaction to that is golden. He's able to find Mike Crook, and that is another win for SMC Tactical.
Great rotations from SMC, just able to stay in there with the back and forth trading. They are doing just enough to beat Globochem here in every round, and that takes a lot of skill. That takes a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. It's no feat. It's not not underselling it, but it is very close here. Globochem, it's trades. It's one kill for another. This cargo map 3 is fantastic.
Oh, this is the perfect way to finish up what has already been an amazing series. Just anything that's map 3 decider cargo is perfect. We saw it in finals, and it did sure deliver. And I was almost about to say words I probably shouldn't say on cast, but I think that is the perfect way to describe how intense that was. And we are getting it here again, kind of like a mini finals.
Yeah, this has been an excellent watch. I'm really glad we tuned into this one. Globochem had a great couple of matches this season, and as have SMC, even without their full roster. You know, they play well when Landon's not around. It certainly, in my opinion, is a bit of a different SMC, but it is SMC regardless. And here they're looking great. They're going on the defense. Granted, again, this objective pretty volatile, and they've taken the full minute and a half here to plan something. So I gotta wonder what Globochem are gonna bring to the table.
Yeah, maybe some elite PvP strats coming out here from Globochem. I don't think SMC are going to change it up. They're kind of a wild bunch, especially at the helm of Trip, kind of the wildest of them all. But Globochem on offense could be very intense. You ask any team that plays with them on the regular, they will say that they are a very intense team, and maybe kind of having that loosey-goosey, you know, corporate culture with SMC is exactly what's needed to be able to take down Globochem, to not let them play into your mind. Plenty of pre-fire, a nade from Landon Jordan's already able to find Otto. A great start to another round. C4 gets detonated by a nade here. The intensity is right here. Smokes are already on objective. Toast is pre-firing onto the objective. Landon Jordan pushes his way on out. Trip's able to find Izzy. Mike Crook is able to find Trip. Toast finds Landon Jordan. He's worked his way into the capping radius, but no, he's going to choose to go for the fight instead. He's able to find Solution. He's wrapped his way around. Toast has just been on fire, and he's able to get around of his own. Wow!
Quite the aggressive play from Globochem. They storm in with smokes. They do exactly what you should do on Marsoc on this objective. And I mean, there's two flavors right there. You're right. Two different ways you can play this thing. Fast and slow, or you know, fast or slow, excuse me. And Globo just played that one quick, fantastic. The aggression out of Toast. It's about time he comes alive there. I think those are the first 3 kills he's gotten this series.
Pop it out of the toaster oven like a hot piece. Just, I was not expecting that level at all, but just when Globochem needed it, Toast, their oldest pickup, just comes into the fray, just like a bat out of hell. It just destroys SMC Tactical. One swift swoop. Absolutely amazing stuff. And we're already going to the next round here. The same intensity.
I mean, wonder how many times these guys have played, how much time they've spent in this map. I was just watching Izzy juggling magazine. How hard that is to do in VR.
She does that all the time. She likes to do it on cast, especially with me, because she knows that I'll focus in on it and I'll call it out. Hey, I can't juggle at all. So the fact that she can A, juggle is amazing. B, that she can do it in VR where you have no like touch or sense of
Yeah,
feeling.
it's incredible.
It's awesome. Definitely some next level strats right there.
The nade in between Trip and Soda. Not close enough to either one of them to do any damage. They go unscathed. A bit of a light presence here from SMC Tactical. I wonder if this is throwing off Globochem, but we'll see. Shots coming in from Trip. He's in a bit of a bind. He's able to tuck himself in. Lots of comms coming in from him. That's information for his team to work with, and we'll see if they do work with it. Landon applies pressure, pushes forward, catches one. Toast looking for the refrag, finds the back of one, can't get the second. Shenanigans able to scoop that up. Thunderpilot denying Trip entry. From the backside, the back lane, Soda Solution still alive, as is Shenanigans. I stand corrected, Solution goes down. Shenanigans finds the refrag. Things stay pretty even. We're into a 2-2. Thunder looking for the shots onto Shenanigans. Otto also applying pressure. The brother duo trying to get up into the face of the remaining SMC tactical attack.
Yeah, we saw it before that Otto kind of got a little antsy when SMC slowed it down, and I think they're going to try to do that again. You know, Captain Soda, he can play slower whenever he's on his own. So I think that's going to really play very well into the hands of SMC Tactical, because Otto's just going to rotate right in front of Soda when he's just going to stay still. He's not going to make any noise, and Otto's not going to check that angle that he might be at. And that's exactly what happens as Captain Soda is able to find Otto. Shenanigans provides a bit of supporting fire. And now we're into the last man standing on Globochem. It is Thunderpilot. He's pretty far off of the objective, so I'm pretty sure the pressure he feels is on him. He does have a general idea where these two remaining SMC members are. But the question is, he's got to be able to find, or the thing he has to do is he's got to be able to find a piece of cover where he could be able to rotate if he kills one of these people, because he'll instantly become a marked man the moment he shoots.
Soda here on the rotation. Shenanigans doesn't see him. One goes down. Shenanigans able to find the key refrag. SMC grab themselves a Marsoc round. They go in to series point here on map number 3.
This is make it or break it for Globochem. This offense that they are about to do is...
Yeah, it's important.
Oh, I don't even know what to say. I just can't wait for this round to begin. This is some of the best Onward I've seen. It just so casually happens on my 100th. Like, what on earth is going on here? Like, was this pre-planned or something? Are you paying someone, NightFiree?
I am not, but I'm very thankful that it has been such a spectacular showcase of VRML and Onward action. These guys going at it right now, and yeah, this is a massive round for Globochem. I got no idea how they play this. I'm gonna guess it's more standard Globochem. If you're in a position here, this is when you play the 230 push, the push that you know. You wait, you see if they get aggressive on you, you see if you can get a pick, you can see if you can get a mistaken rotation, then you work off of that. That's the Globochem that I know. It would be a surprise to me if they did try to just apply the pressure, apply the press, go for the cap. That would be out of the ordinary. So I think we'll get a conservative Globochem here on the offense, but they're taking that minute and a half again before they get into this next round. Both of these teams investing the time to make sure that the play that they come up with is the right one.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely here. The option for the cap is there if Globochem could try to force it, but that is incredibly risky and can result in the L for them if it doesn't get pulled off perfectly. But those beeps have sounded. It's time to see if SMC can do it, if they can get that 1 point that they need, that defense that they need, and be able to finally beat Globochem for the first time since, what, 3 years ago?
Here. I saw everyone have a frag grenade. I was like, what the fuck?
Trip,
Laughter.
the team captain overreacting heavily to a lack of what seemed to be smokes, but they're there. Shenanigans able to deploy them. And I don't think they're even going to be used. I think everyone's going to stay here. Globochem is going to apply a bit of early and fast pressure. Toast coming in through the center here will challenge Captain Soda and finds Soda trying to drop back off the rotation. This is a fast press from Globochem. They're applying full pressure. Sirlution down.
Yeah,
Toast snapshot.
The Toast has been unleashed as he found a nice little quick peek onto Sirlution there. Now he's searching for the brains of the operation himself, Trip. Oh, the C4 downs both of them, but Globochem will get that win anyways. It's 3-3 on map 3.
They're lucky that that wasn't a team kill from Trip as the last. Like, that could have been 4-3 Globochem on a technicality.
I'm not even worried about the technicality here. NightFiree, we're in at 3-3 on map 3 on cargo. Can it get any better?
I don't think it can. It's only the third week of the season. It's a Sunday night. Got ourselves some excellent Onward action on our hands. I am certainly pleased to see it. Very interested to see how this final round shakes up. It is probably the most meta defensive objective here on cargo. I feel like this is where you see the wild action unfold on this objective, and so I am very interested to see what SMC are gonna do with their backs against the wall in our final round of the day.
I already bit my fingernails off before. I don't have anything else to bite off. This is so intense. This could be history for SMC Tactical to be able to finally pull off a win again against Globochem ever since their first match against each other. The nades. I just can't express how intense the feeling is going into this round. And you can definitely tell that Globochem are taking this very seriously as well. They're not pushing out. They're not doing anything funky. They are holding some very textbook Onward as they just hold really good locations. They're tucking in. They're not making themselves visible. They're making SMC question where their actual locations are so they can't just lob nades on them or, get easy kills.
I don't think Globochem are even looking for, they're really staying tucked in. Nobody's looking for any early picks. They're staying tight around defense. They've waited for this utility to come out before they throw nades and utility of their own. But honestly, there's not really a ton of movement off of these smokes. Toast finds Landon trying to dip in to a room, and the press does come up to at least the center line from SMC.
Ooh, and this nade might be perfect. Oh my goodness, Mike Crook with the double with the nade. Oh wow, Captain Soda flies Thundercloud in retaliation. SMC Tactical are down to 2 with 2 resable. Globochem are 4, but one of them gets confirmed. Now only one is available for the res. This is gonna be very risky to get Trip resed up again. Captain Soda's kind of double taking here as he gets pre-fired upon, but it looks like that res will come out. Toast is able to find solutions, so this res is a little bit late in time. Globochem are looking really strong to take this round.
They've tightened up their defense. They've found the picks they need, and now it's going to be a very long and tall order for SMC to come back from this. They've got great defensive angles. They still have to cross a very open kill zone, and Toast is rotated up into a forward position I don't think anyone's going to be expecting here. So we'll see what SMC can do. We'll see what they can do with their smokes.
Yeah, they already used a bunch of the smokes earlier, so there's going to definitely be a lack of utility, and you got to use it sparingly or act off of it immediately. But it looks like Trip's going to play this slower. A bit of C4 goes off a little early from Globochem. Couple shots go off there as Globochem are just free-firing at this point. They're going to shoot off of any assumption that they can in order to be able to secure this round. Trip, I think, got spotted somewhere along the line. He rotates into a place to cover, but he gets picked up by Otto. Now it's all down to Captain Soda to be able to try to get that, but Toast is going to secure that one for Globochem. They're going to take the win here. Globochem, once again, will reign champion over SMC.
How frustrating if you're SMC right now. You have been doing so good against Globochem the full series. You bring it down, you're in the lead, you're on the last map, and you just can't tie it together. So close there for SMC to get that win in 3 years. It's been, Todd. They haven't taken that W, but
it's been a bit of a drought there.
Not to say they haven't won in 3 years, just against Globochem. And I'm sure that's a stat that a lot of teams share, to be honest with you. So there's a lot of teams that haven't beat Globochem in a long time or at all.
I think the more important stat is teams that have beaten Globochem.
Yeah, right. Very much true. And to that note, SMC, wow, how great do they look today? They were challenging Globochem every step of the way. They look like a team that's going to be first, second, playing against beginners at any stage of this, of this season and challenge them.
Yeah, and they had a really great showing in the finals last year. They weren't able to make it all the way due to, it wasn't even their own fault. They just got knocked out by, I want to say, boss fight in the elimination. So they've always had an amazing performance, but the stars just haven't exactly aligned for them just yet. But definitely SMC are going to be a team to look out for this season.
Hell of a performance by both squads. Very happy to tune into that action today. Happy it could be your 100th, Todd.
Thank you.
Quick shout out to everyone that has been hanging out in chat. I see Sickness Dweller 4T4C4, Wookie VR, Control Fitz is in there, Quacka Flocka, Snooper, Neo, Official Nolic. Appreciate you for all hanging out. Ice Fox and Sleepy. Appreciate you guys as well for tuning into the action today. Also, a quick shout out to our sponsors: Pro2 VR, VR Cover, Cyber Shoes, Fixed Gaming, B Haptics. That's it. I think I got through them all really quick that time.
Yeah, I think you got him.
That'll be it for us here tonight. Be sure to tune in every Sunday live on venues at 12 p.m. for Echo Arena. If you want to check out that, it is a fantastic way to watch esports. I cannot wait to watch more esports in venues. Awesome. I highly recommend you check it out if you have a Quest or an Oculus Go. And we'll be signing off. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. My co-caster TFH with 3 letters. See you all next weekend for week 4 of the Onward VRML. Don't miss it. Bye-bye.